Hello, flowers. A lot of people said that they very much enjoyed my Phantom Touch induction that I did almost about a year ago on this channel, and from then I have learned a absolute ton when it comes to hypnosis, how to perform it, and specifically what I have been doing to people in this kind of virtual space and VR to kind of better understand how hypnosis is kind of brought into play when you're not actually in the room with someone, which is, from what I can understand, what has led me to have a better understanding of how to create some files. Now, since then, I did a very special kind of numbers induction where exactly what happened was I made you count from 1 through 15, but I was the counter. Every single number, you'd have to either open your hands or close them, and as I was counting, I would mix it up by going 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 7, 9, 10. Just kind of going through it ever so more. So today I'd like to show off what I can do since I haven't exactly made a file for a very long while, and I'd like to make a couple more. So if you do have any requests for anything specific that I could make that you would be comfortable with a very public file being created, go down in the comment section of this video and either request in the comments below or go join my Discord and ask me directly if you would like something very private for yourself. Without further ado, this is the completely conscious trance. I hope you enjoy. The file starts here. Specifically, what I need to do to kind of explain to someone exactly how this induction is supposed to go is I first need you to internalize exactly what you believe a trance is kind of like when it comes to hypnosis. A lot of people have this misconception that hypnosis is this kind of mind control where I'm going to sit down, say a couple of words, and you're going to feel as if you are being controlled walking to your kitchen to go make yourself a sandwich, but actually I'm an evil person and I made you throw that sandwich out. No, that isn't what hypnosis is like at all. What a lot of people tend to think hypnosis is a lot different from what it actually feels like. To go off and listen to someone else's description of what hypnosis feels like kind of puts a damper on your own experience because you believe your mind and body must feel a very special kind of way to kind of guide you towards where you're supposed to be going. And if you don't feel that way, you essentially stop and block yourself completely from being able to experience any amount of hypnosis because it isn't exactly what you have expected. And because of this, you are essentially stopping yourself and being a hindrance to no one else but yourself to enjoy this amazingly beautiful experience. So I'd like to put just a very slight idea that is inside of your head. Have you ever been able to sit down, listen to your favorite playlist of songs, and at some point in time, your favorite song was playing, but you don't remember that song playing? You might remember that it came on, but before you knew it, the song ended. It's almost as if your brain had skipped the song and you had to go back just to play the song again because you really wanted to listen to that song. Almost like 4 or 5 minutes had just gone by and you barely can recollect it. That short period of time is what a lot of people explain what hypnosis feels like. You're not supposed to notice it. Another example is, imagine you were driving down the road. While driving down the road, you have to take this exact path to go to work every single day. As you go down this exact road, you might notice that sometimes you start to forget the entire drive, not exactly the moment you started, but a little while after you started, and then a little bit before you actually arrived at your destination. You were so used to going down this one exact path that your brain autopilots it and you begin to stop thinking, despite the fact that while driving you make hundreds of calculations every single moment. Am I going too fast? Should I slow down? Do I speed up a little bit? Is the guy behind me too close? Do I need to speed up? Is the guy in front of me too close? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to speed up so I'm, going the speed of the road? road? Should I go slightly to the left? Am I too close to the right side of the road, or am I too close to the center of the road? Do I need to reposition my car? There are so many different calculations that you go through at any point in time. Despite that happening, you cannot remember most of the drive, if any of it. That sensation of this degree of an absence of thought is what hypnosis is like. How you experience it is different from every other person's experience. If you think there should be a total blackout of all of your senses, you cannot hear, see, or even feel anything unless the hypnotist tells you to do so, some people may experience that, but not everyone will. And that is the most important distinction. If you are watching this file or listening to it, what I need you to do right now is to take your hand, and whether it be your dominant or non, I need you to start to stare directly at your hand, just at the palm of your hand. What I want you to do is I want you to stare at the lines in your hand. Go on, look. You've never taken the time to sit down and actually stare at your hands, now have you? Just listen to my voice while you stare at your hands. Find one specific spot to really look at. And as you really look at that, I want you to keep in mind exactly the two scenarios that I have said before. This amount of focus that is so immense that you may start to forget exactly what happened. As you focus on this one specific point in your hand, I want you to stare, I want you to focus, and I want you to look. I want you to actually look at the construction of your hand, because you've never actually taken the time to look at how your hand truly works, or at least I would assume that you haven't. While looking at the lines in your hand, I want your eyes to start to drift once you start to genuinely begin to focus. As you focus on the lines of your hand and you start to look, I want you to notice exactly how your hand kind of folds together. Close your hand and open it once more. Look at the lines in your hand and exactly how they fold in order for your hand to begin to function. Stare and look. Start to notice things that you have truly never seen before, like how there are these tiny little islands in between every single one of these kind of lines that begin to make up the folds of our hands. As you begin to stare and look, I want you to truly notice just how much you are beginning to focus in. A lot of people at this point in time, once they have focused in this much, notice that this is the most amount of natural focus they have ever put into anything. Beyond exactly what this feels like, I need you to continue to stare. Don't lose your focus at this point. It is completely okay. I want you to continue looking. Now, a lot of people like to use this analogy or this imagery of an idea of walking down a flight of stairs or simply counting from 1 through 10. If I were to use the same analogy, I would dampen this experience immensely. So instead, what I wish to do is I wish to put this metaphor on exactly how deep you yourself can go on a 1 through 10 basis. Staring at your hand, I want you to realize the amount of focus you have given right now would be just above 10. The lightest trance you could possibly be in. 1 will be the absolute deepest you will ever be able to go. I, today, will be unable to bring you to this 1. Simply being that, if I were to bring you to this 1, you would never be able to sink deeper. This will be the deepest you will have ever gone, and the deepest you will ever go. That being said, with the amount of focus you have in your hand right now, 10. You may notice something that is a bit of a difference. You may notice that nothing has changed at all. You may notice that the amount of focus either got stronger or didn't at all. That's completely okay. You can look away from your hand and start to look up at the screen if you are watching this file, but if you are listening, just continue looking at your hand. All I really need you to do is, while you are just kind of focusing on anything that your mind can look at, I don't really want you to distract yourself, because in order to distract yourself is to kind of stimulate the brain in a very special kind of way that gets the thoughts really pumping. I don't really want anything like that to happen, because when a lot of people tend to go through hypnosis, a lot of them tend to kind of experience this very strange feeling that things are out of their hand. The reason why I came up with this entire induction was I had a subject that was extremely scared of going through hypnosis, despite the fact he had reached out to me to go through it, because he believed I was a very safe hypnotist to be able to go under with. However, while trying to explain anything that would be going on to him, he would show an immense amount of hesitation, and I wanted to create something that would allow him to know that at any point in time, he could simply stand up and walk away. At no point in time will you feel as if I am overbearing or I have power or control over you. At any point in time, you, my subject, will have just as much power as the hypnotist will. This is one of the most important distinctions when it comes to doing this very specific induction, or trying to go through it. A lot of people may enjoy that very strange, risque kind of idea of they're not having the amount of power anymore, but it is also a very safe understanding and something that has to be kind of respected if you wish to be able to give this induction. This idea that you do not have as much power as you may think you will. However, being the subject, you will have just as much power as I. What I want you to do now is, as focused as we can truly be, I want to go another step closer. You can close your eyes and just look at nothing if you truly wish. If it makes it a little more easier to focus, I want you to continue looking at your hand. Essentially, the very next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to ask you to nod your head. If you feel comfortable, simply nod your head. Up and down. Once is all I require, but you can do it more if you so wish. Once you are done, the next step happens. 9. Nothing different truly tends to happen unless we allow ourselves to experience this new experience. If you yourself begin to focus on anything other than my voice, you can attempt to close your eyes. It will make it a lot more easier to listen to the words as they guide you through this very special experience. You could even stare at the nice, beautiful world or tree setting that I have chosen for this exact period in time if you are watching the video. What I essentially want you to do at this specific point in time is I want you to genuinely think on one specific thing. What is your favorite color? Can you see your very favorite color within this video? Can you see it within your mind's eye? What is your favorite color? I want you to say it out loud. Not because I want you to kind of allow the people around you to hear your favorite color, but because I want you to show that you can think right now, despite the fact you can focus ever more. With your favorite color, do you have clothes in your favorite color? You can nod your head yes or shake your head no. It truly, in the moment, I cannot see your answer, but I hope you understand that your answer is invaluable nonetheless. To go through hypnosis, a lot of people don't entirely tend to recognize the amount of focus required for an extended session, a session that lasts longer than 5 or 10 minutes, or an entire experience that can be concocted by one exact person that needs to be able to sit down and give that experience for an extended period of time. A lot of people don't actually notice how hard it is to sit down and focus and just listen to one person speak. In fact, we used to do this for years on end when we used to be in school. It's why we would usually have regular breaks in order to stop listening to the teachers to be able to give our young, feeble minds a break to be able to continue going on listening. Simple breaks that are so invaluable in today's world to the point where we distract ourselves with YouTube videos, TikToks, Snapchats, or any modicum amount of social media. And I just want you to realize that we do not walk down steps or we do not climb up them in order to experience any amount of hypnosis. All we do is we just simply realize we are comfortable. 8. Good. You're doing a fantastic job, by the way. If you don't believe me, that's a little sad, but I want you to genuinely understand that it doesn't matter how new to hypnosis you can truly be. This specific file is meant to be a kind of beginner's guide to help them experience hypnosis, because a lot of people don't tend to experience it because they kind of stop themselves from going halfway because they're too busy focused on one specific experience. And because of this, they stop themselves fully from being able to experience anything at all. So, the next step to be able to experience something is to just be able to listen to someone speaking, not exactly to kind of distract yourself in any modicum or kind of amount of way, but instead just be able to genuinely have a person that you can listen to. We as people love listening to others, but for some reason never take the time to truly sit down for an extended period of time and listen. Which is precisely why, if we want to listen to anyone in particular, all we really need to do is just take the time to listen to their voice, as their words slowly guide us along this path, where nothing really needs to happen for us to experience this very strange amount of focus. Kind of like walking upstairs or staring directly at the center of a spinning image that a lot of people would know as a spiral. In order to experience hypnosis, all we really need to do is just simply focus. A little more, a little less. It truly doesn't entirely matter. In fact, I want you to still realize how much focus you can truly have with every number the moment it gets stronger. 7. Good, good. You're doing fantastic, by the way. I don't want to keep reminding you, but it should feel as if I have some kind of reward for you, despite the fact that you're not here with me. One thing that I do want you to do right now to kind of better improve this idea that you have full control of this situation, not exactly as if this file wasn't pre-recorded, but instead I want you to think of your favorite pizza topping. Some people have more than one, some people have a very special kind of pizza order. What's your absolute favorite pizza topping? Does it need to go with something else in order to be just as good, or is it better by itself? You can say it out loud. Let your lips part and say it once more if you haven't already. Good. One of the coolest things about hypnosis is the fact that not a lot of hypnotists realize that it is so invaluable to be able to sit down and have their subjects give them answers while in this extremely focused state. What I want you to do, no matter what happens, is I don't want you to truly feel uncomfortable. If you do, simply open your eyes and shut off this file immediately. You can then give me your feedback and tell me how much of a terrible job I have done. But if you wish to feel more and more comfortable, I want you to take a very deep breath. And the moment we exhale together, you will feel a very immense amount of comfort wash over you. Just simply breathe in and out. Good. I want you to breathe in for 6 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. Are you ready? Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, good, good. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 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 Doing breathing techniques is the fastest way to change the blood chemistry that allows the mind and body to relax or change the way it thinks at any given point in time. It happens so drastically after you breathe over a set period of time that a lot of people developed different kinds of breathing techniques to help for different scenarios. I like to talk about the 626 breathing technique a lot. It was a very specific breathing technique developed by the Navy SEALs. They wanted to be able to have this breathing technique to kind of help people rapidly change their blood chemistry in order to help them keep going on when they normally could not. It's this idea that they could not keep going, so they would perform this 626 breathing technique and rapidly be able to recover from their downed or weakened state to be able to push further just a little bit more to be able to complete their mission. The thing that I use the 626 breathing technique is specifically to help someone relax. Because a lot of people don't take the time to just breathe for a second. Breathe in for 6 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6 seconds. One more time. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 1, 2, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And we'll hit the next step. 6. Good. There's still so much farther that we can focus and go down. In fact, I want you to open your eyes for a moment, and when you do, if they're not open already, I want you to look around your room. Notice the things that are there. Notice exactly what is in your room, what may have moved and what may have not. Just take a moment and realize when you focus back in, the amount of focus you have has not changed, has it? It's almost as if right now you are completely in control of the amount of focus you have, the amount of focus that you are able to experience in this exact period of time. Just because you can look away for one moment does not mean for a second that your focus can be dwindled or broken. We have built up this immense amount of focus together, and just looking away is not enough to be able to shatter it. Which is precisely why I want you to just realize how hard it is to build up this amount of focus, how much effort you have put into creating this immensely beautiful experience and kind of scenario in our own kind of world to be able to feel exactly the way we do right now, experiencing this immensely interesting feeling of being fully aware while being under this hypnotic trance. In fact, we can take it a further step and just simply strengthen that feeling by simply going 5. Good, good. You're doing amazing. In fact, one of the most interesting things about going half as far as we could ever go is we can stop here. A lot of people usually will. This usually is only as far as most people will go, and especially on their very first try, this is as far as most people will need to go to be extremely satisfied with their hypnosis experience. A lot of people, in order to go deeper and deeper, is a very good idea, but no one needs to go as deep as they possibly can to enjoy their experience. In fact, I just want you to realize that every number we've built up until this exact period in time was nothing more but just simply the amount of comfort that we were trying to build up to the very next number that we are about to feel. The amount of focus that we have is going to be directly translated into just how comfortable our body can be in this exact moment in time. In fact, I want you to shift in your chair ever so slightly around in your bed to just feel just a little more comfortable. Good. Just like that. And once we're in just the optimal position, as comfortable as we can possibly get in this moment, we're going to take a moment to just breathe one more time. And the moment we exhale, the moment we completely finish getting all the air out of our lungs, will the next number arrive. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2. out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. Good, good, good. Amazing, in fact. This is a really, honestly beautiful place. This world we live in. Not a lot of people tend to take the time to just stare at it. And usually we're so small sitting up there that we don't really have enough distance to be able to enjoy what we're looking at. There's a lot that's beautiful that not a lot of people can really enjoy. Nature doesn't really have to be this God-seeing, most beautiful thing ever, but there's a lot of things that is around us every single day that we take for granted. This idea that there are so many things that are beautiful, you yourself included, that we haven't taken the time to appreciate it. I appreciate everything and all time given to me and time that I receive and give as well. I don't really want to go on too big of a tangent on how beautiful the world can be, because a lot of people tend to get bored of hearing that. But I just want you to realize that as beautiful as any scenery can be, your relationship with anyone, you yourself included, can be just as beautiful. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to count upwards from 4 all the way to 10. And the moment I hit 10, you're going to realize all of your focus just kind of disappear with a single snap. I'm going to count all the way from 4 to 10. And you're going to notice that the moment I hit 10, all of your thoughts are going to kind of reappear, almost as if, like with the snap of a finger, they've been given back to you. It's not like I stole them, it's more as if they decided to go somewhere else for just a short period of time, and we're going to let every single number, as we're going up, give them all back to us. Starting with the number 5. It's like waking up. Even though we are completely aware and awake of what's going on, hypnosis usually is this kind of idea of what it feels like to fall asleep. Or at least a lot of people tend to kind of relate it to that. So when we tend to say waking up while being completely awake, think about what it's like when your body needs to wake up when you wake up in the morning. 6. A lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, do not immediately jump out of bed and run up the stairs and grab their morning coffee and make the toast and bread and eat it within seconds. They need time to wake up, almost as if the mind may be way more awake than the body is, and the body has to slowly wake up before the mind does, or vice versa. Some people, when they wake up, their mind is completely awake while the body is still completely asleep. 7. This is usually what is known as sleep paralysis, where you yourself are awake, but your mind is trying to wake your body up so you can jump up out of bed. And that's usually where the, sleep paralysis demons come in and all that idea of what it seems to kind of scare yourself awake, because it's a very scary experience to experience sleep paralysis. 8. What I want you to do is, I don't want you to experience sleep paralysis at all. What I want you to do is, I want you to slowly feel your body wake up. You should genuinely feel pretty awake already. We're already 8 out of 10, because you awake just a little bit before you normally wake up. Some people wake up minutes before their alarm goes off, not because it's kind of, they've conditioned themselves to wake up at that time, but they've conditioned themselves to wake up after a set period of time, an 8-hour or 7.5-hour sleep that they usually and normally get. 9. And because they can get this conditioned amount of sleep, they feel completely well rested the moment they wake up moments before their alarm, but feel as if they've been robbed of a few minutes of sleep because their alarm didn't wake them up. That's a little strange in my opinion, but that doesn't really need to mean anything. Which is precisely why I just want you to take one breath and realize everything come back. 10. and that is the fully conscious induction. Developed for one of my friends that had extreme safety issues and anxieties when it comes to hypnosis. I wanted him to be able to have a file that he can look back on, to kind of experience this again and again if he wishes to. Regardless, if you enjoyed the induction, you can go ahead and download it down in the description below. I'm going to leave a Google Drive link for anyone to just download it and listen to it again when they want to experience this. Or you can simply listen to the video once more. I really don't care. In the end, thank you so much for listening. I value every single second you decided to spend here. After all, you only have a limited number of them. So thank you for spending them with me. Goodbye.